Hey, how are you? It's Tammy Marshall, the director of the Emotional Healing Institute. And I apologize, I have my University of Tennessee orange on and the carpet people have been here, so the house is a little is a little bland. But I just wanted to get this video out because as I watch people make comments, I know what it feels like. I know what it is to feel so devastated by weight, to be so frustrated by food, to just, I don't know, it's just such a frustrating thing. We're inundated every day with all this information about how we're supposed to look and feel and lose weight and this gadget and that gadget and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just so over it. And the truth was, part of this had to do with the story that I was telling myself. The story that was in my own head was part of what was keeping me stuck. It was keeping me from eating the foods that would make me feel alive and energized. It was also keeping me stuck from being able to move forward. And so I want to just, one of the people had posted about not being able to eat with the family. And it just broke my heart. And because I know how hurtful that is to have that belief. And so I wanted to just give you an example of what it would look like to challenge that story, right? Part of this, I call the unemotional eater, it's really about the great love story. This is this place where we begin to love ourselves, where we let go of all these ideas that we have about food and dieting and all the struggle and the strife, and we just come back into our hearts and start to tell a different story. And so I would just invite you to look at what your own story is. What is it that you're believing that if you lose the weight, if you change how you eat, if you start to move into a different place, what is it that you believe is going to have to happen in order for that to occur? What limit is it that you have that you're telling yourself? So I want to take this story that in order for me to eat, to lose the weight and change the way I eat, I'm not going to be able to eat with my family. And so what that looks like is we'd start on the karate chop point. And so even though I have the story that I'm not going to be able to eat with my family if I eat the foods that I need to eat, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm telling this story that I'm not going to be able to eat with my family, if I really want to take care of myself and eat the foods that make me feel alive. But I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I've been telling this story that I'm not going to be able to eat with my family if I eat the foods that are really going to make me feel alive. But I deeply and completely love and accept myself and all my emotions. This story that I'm not going to be able to eat with my family. This story that if I take care of myself, I'll be separated from my family. This story that if I eat the foods that make me feel alive and thrive, I'm going to be separated from my family. This story that I'm going to be separated from my family. Even though I've been telling this story that I'm going to be separated from my family, I'm open to the possibility that I don't have all the information. Even though I've been telling this story that if I eat the foods that make me feel alive and thrive, I'm going to be separated from my family, I'm open to the possibility that I don't have all the information. I'm open to the possibility that I can eat the foods that make me feel alive and thrive and be with my family. I'm open to the possibility that there's a way that I can eat the foods that make me feel alive and thrive and enjoy my family. I'm open to the possibility that there's a way for my family to enjoy the foods that make me feel alive and thrive. I'm open to the possibility that I can include my family with the foods that make me feel alive and thrive. I'm open to the possibility that there's a new way for us to be included. I'm open to the possibility that there's a way for us to do this together. I'm open to the possibility that there's a way for both. And I begin to let go. I choose to let go. I choose to let it go now. Grab your wrist, take a deep breath. Peace. And so as I watched that, or I read that, it was just this sadness that came over me, to what it must feel like to believe that you're going to be separated from the family. And so, you know, when you're doing the EFT around emotional eating, you know, what we're looking at is, what is that response? You know, what is it that happens within me when I have this belief that I'm going to be separated from my family in order to eat the foods that make me feel alive and thrive? And know that that's my language, right? I don't know what you're supposed to eat. Right? What I know is what I'm supposed to eat. And so part of this, I mean, you know, I feel like the river guide, you know, and the fact that there's going to be some common sense along this, but the reality is about plugging into your own body, so you know what foods make you feel alive, what foods make you feel excited, what gives you energy, you know, rather than those foods that take energy away. You know, a lot of, you know, white sugar typically takes energy away. For me personally, pasta takes my energy away. If I eat, you know, if I go eat Mexican food, or if I go eat Italian food, I just want to take a nap afterwards. And so, you know, I want to eat the foods that when I get done, I feel energized and ready to go. And so that's the place. Do I live in a perfect world? No. Do I always eat just this? No. Who can live like that? Who wants to live like that? You know, if you're eating the foods that make you feel alive and energized the majority of the time, then you're going to be healthy, and I want you to be healthy. That's going to be, and then the weight's going to go as a result of the health. This is not this, oh my gosh, I have to do it this way, because none of us can live in that space for any amount of time. You know, when we do that, it's like that slingshot that as far as it goes back this way, it goes flying that way, which is not fun. So let's talk about one more time what it would look like if you tuned into your body and said, I'm gonna be separated from my family if I eat in a way that makes me feel alive and thrive. And so, you know, I feel this sadness in my heart, and so I ask you to just check into that. And so, tapping on the karate chop point, even though I feel the sadness in my heart at the thought of being separated from my family if I eat in a way that makes me feel alive and thrive, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel this sadness in my heart just at the thought that I'm going to be separated from my family if I eat in a way that makes me feel alive, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm telling this story that I'll have this sadness in my heart at the thought of eating in a way that would support me and take care of me, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself and all my emotions. And so tapping through the points, all this sadness in my heart, this sadness in my heart, this sad feeling in my heart, this sadness in my heart at the thought that I'll be separated from my family, this sadness in my heart that I'll be separated from my family if I eat in a way that I feel alive and thrive. This sadness in my heart, this sadness in my heart, this old sadness in my heart. I choose to begin to release and let go of this sadness in my heart. I choose to begin to let it go. Let it go now. Grab your wrist, take a deep breath. Okay, this is getting too long. I just want you to just try this out. Tell me how this works, what happens, and let's just keep walking this out, because I know you're sick and tired of being overweight and beating up on yourself because you just aren't able to walk away from the food and eat in a way that makes you feel alive. And so I'm ready for some change, and I know you are too. So we'll talk soon. Blessings.